This is a unpacking, review, and installation video on the Giving Tree shower system. It's a 3-spray pattern. The head of the shower is 12 inches. We'll show that to you in just a second. It has 3 side jet heads to shoot out for a body wash, and it also has a hand held shower head. So this is a really nice shower system, and the center of it, the brain of it, if I can say, is this valve control, built-in level, so that you make sure it's level when you install it. Brass fittings, really nice, marked well for cold, hot, down, and right and up fittings. It also has temperature protection so that you're not scalded with hot water. Really nice for children and elders. And when you switch over from either the handle to the head shower or to the body shower heads, it's also designed to keep the temperature the same, so you don't get a shock of cold or hot when it makes that transition. It keeps the mixture of the hot and cold the same. So this is a really nice valve control and heavy duty, strong stuff. This is nice. These are the guts for the 3 side heads here. Comes with a little template, installation, nice little lag nuts going through tile or sheetrock or whatever it is that you're going to be working with, that green board. And then of course the brass bolts for interconnection. This is the housing, which is going to go in the wall. Has excellent instructions. This is the seal for it, and there's three of those. Everything you need there. This is the head for those. Really nice, and you can see they turn so you can put them in a certain direction, and really super nice. All right, what else we got here? We have the bore in which the handle, let me show you that, the handle sprayer here. This is the bore it goes on, the connector there. And this is nice. You have a button on the front. So once this is mounted on the wall, which by the way is done with these guys right here, like that. This slips in there, and you can see this part mounts to the wall of the shower. It gives you this space in between, and then if you want to move where the handle sits, you just push this button and this thing just slides right up and down that bore. Really nice, done well. Okay, you have your on the valve. At the top of the valve I showed you earlier is where this knob's going to go. This allows you to switch from the handheld to the overhead to the body spray. Switch between the 3, what you're going to be using at the time. This is the neck for the shower head that hangs over, goes into the wall. Of course, this is what points down, so it looks something like this with the head, the square head underneath it. Okay. This here is your plate. And so you're going to have the hot cold will mount through here. You see the hot and cold. It's nice, decorative, square plate moves. And it's going to go up against this square. And that's the plate here. And this is where the smaller one goes. That switches between head, body wash, or handheld. Goes on there. Put those off to the side. And let's see here. Comes with a nice connector hose for you. And underneath here, and by the way, everything is packed really nice. This is the shower head, 12-inch shower head. This is a really, really good size shower head. Going to give you that full rain, like you're just standing out in the rain, taking a shower. A basic hookup on underneath. So this is just really, really nice. All right, you can see we ran the pipe. So we have the main valve here, and out of the top of the valve, it comes over, and that is the line that does your 3 sprayers. Still got to put that middle sprayer in, and you have to run your copper line, and then you can see in here the pipe there, and this is, you've got tape and glue, and then you're going to use an Allen wrench to put that on. So you put that piece in there, and then you put your Allen wrench in there, and you turn that Allen wrench. We'll probably get a pair of pliers so we can tighten it real good. And you do that for all 3 of these sprayers. All right, this is the rough install for the shower system. And I just wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit. Of course, this is an install in a home that's already been built. So we cut the tile out, and we're going to remove this here and replace this with a decorative tile so that it looks like it was designed that way. So this is your valve, and this is a standard wall with aluminum studding, and then in front of the aluminum studding is Durock, and then the tile. So the thickness of the wall here is the basic thickness of this 2x4, about a 4-inch wall. And we cut out our old valve and mounted this valve. What we found is that the depth of the valve covering, so that the front, the plastic here, as well as on the sprayers, that if you go put a 2x4 behind them, it's going to bring this out to the proper depth. Now that may vary a little bit with you concerning your wall. And if it's a new home that's being built, of course, the layout's pretty much the same, but the work's going to be a little bit easier. So we put 2x4s behind the 3 sprayers and 2x4 behind the main valve. And then up here is the overhead. Lean this back just so you can see it up there. The overhead sprayer where it comes out for the shower. So the system, little knob here goes on. My water is on, by the way. And this is the on-off knob. So hot to the left, cold to the right. Pull it up to turn it on, and then turn it how you want. This, you turn to the left for your sprayers, straight up, overhead, to the right, where the the hand sprayer is going to be, the hand shower. And the little nozzle, not the nozzle, but the little silver coupling goes here, little base, and then the hose for the sprayer hand comes up like this. So the valve is a 1/2 inch brass, and so you're going to need copper, nail copper 1/2 inch fittings to go into these 1/2 inch brass female on the valve, and we used it's a press valve for copper. So these are not soldered. It's a new method. It's a big machine that comes and compresses this, and there is a O-ring on the inside, pulls it up against this copper and seals it. It's much faster, easier, pretty much guaranteed no leaks. And it all went together. We've already tested everything in there, or no leaks. So you have when you put the valve in, it says top, bottom, so you know which way to put it. You put the main valve control in. You've got hot water on this side, cold water on this side. And then on the same side as the cold water, this line is for the overhead shower. And then coming right off the top of the valve, it's the one that goes over to the 3 sprayers. And then coming out of the bottom is the one that goes to the hand shower. And so it was a little difficult running the piping here for the 3 sprayers. We had to use a few T's, to make it happen. And yeah, so anyway, they're piped. Sorry, I'm stuttering like this. Then to get this depth right, we actually had to do this little curve that you see here with these fittings, so that the depth is just right for the hand shower port there. So we're going to be, the next stage will be my grout guy will come in, and my grout guy, tile guy, and we're going to replace the door rock. So we'll have to put some boards in here, but we'll replace the door rock, and then we're gonna tile this, and then we will take out these inner pieces here, and then when you do that, that's when you plug in the stem that the setting goes on. But I'll show that in the next video. I just want you to see the roughing on this video. So after we get the door rock in and we get the tile back in and all this is hidden, then these 3 will be exposed. I'll show you how they go together there. I'll show you how this goes together and how everything mounts where it's supposed to be. And so the casings for the sprayers, body sprayers, you have your big brass nut that goes through the base of it, and then that's where your tubing connects from the back side. So the piping is connected from the back side of this on all of these. And it's done through that. Then once those are in, you use the big Allen wrench that's supplied. Then you take these out with the same Allen wrench, and then put the little stems in there, and that's what connects to the facing, delivers the water. Okay, I hope you're able to kind of look at that if you're putting this together, and maybe get an idea of how to run all this stuff. We have now completed putting the tile back on around the section where the sprayers and the handheld and the overhead, the shower system. And you can see there's different color tile there and different there. We're gonna replace those to match the same color here in a couple of days. But I wanted to finish this out so I can get this video done. So we're gonna put everything in place. As you can see here, we have to pop that out with an Allen wrench, and then screw in the shaft that connects to the head. And I'll show you all of that. You got to do that for all three of these. And we'll be pulling this off, and that's where the handheld is connected, goes down around. The handheld's going to be, the bore is going to be attached right here. And this, of course, is where the valves go, and that's where the overhead shower is going to go. So we're going to put all that together and let you see it. All right, so we are now going to attempt to put the sprayers on right here. You can see the tile is in. Excuse the vertical record, but it's the only way I could get so you could see everything that's going on here. So the first thing you're going to do when you go to put your actual sprayer heads on is, as we talked about earlier, there is a bolt, which is actually it's a plug, has a little black washer on it. You're going to remove that plug. Now, I do want to say that when you put this, when we originally put this in, remember that we tightened the main bolt inside of the casing that has the threads on the inside, and we used this Allen wrench that's provided. It goes in here, and you can see the little rubber ring there that helps stops the water. And so once it's inside the casing, it's very difficult to tighten, which is why they give you this. And you just use this Allen wrench to really tighten this fitting into the main pipe. So when you go to undo these, the ones that are on the inside, you want to make sure that you're not untightening the main bolt while you're taking out the one on the inner. And the best way to do that is to give it a quick, just a quicker, I did the other one with a pair of pliers. I'll have to show you that, to get a pair of pliers, show you. So I did this one. Get a pair of pliers and you pop it quick and it'll release it. Now what you're putting inside of this threaded hole here, once you have the plug out, so once you remove that plug, you're going to put Teflon tape on these threads. Don't forget to do that. I'm going to do that in a moment. And that's going to screw right into that same hole, just like that. And if you will notice, there is a place to put that Allen wrench. Same Allen wrench goes in there, and that's what you use to tighten that down. Now this plug has an O-ring on it, so you just have to kind of give it a good snug, and it will seal. So after we put that on, then we're going to show you how to put the facing on the shaft here, the water jet facing. All right, so we put the shaft in, you can see it, and the Teflon tape is on. Make sure when you put your Teflon tape on that it goes in the direction that you're going to be screwing it, the shaft into the threads, so that the threads are not going against the wrapping of the Teflon. Then you're just going to take your sprayer head right here, and you can see the hole here. And on this shaft are two rings that are going to give you a watertight seal. And on the sprayer, you'll see it says top. So you know that this needs to go up when you place it over that shaft. So now you're going to take the outer covering, which is going to hide all of the little defects there. And when you look on this outer layer, the shield, you'll see the word top as well. And so when you place it on, you want to make sure you have the top going up, and it'll just snap right on, just like that. Just snaps on there. Turn it slightly so that it's square with everything else. Got a little bit of playroom there, and that's what they're going to look like. So we're going to put the other two on, and then we'll start on the main valve. Just so that you can see what I meant by popping this Allen wrench to get this inner bolt out. You just stick it in there. It's too hard to undo with your hands because you used it to tighten. You can get a boxed wrench like this or a pair of pliers. Just put it on that Allen wrench and just pop it like that. And that will allow the main threads to stay in while you undo the inner port so you can put the shaft on. All right, you can see that we've removed our pipe, our PVC. And by the way, the reason why we had PVC there and the reason why we have it here is to stop any debris from getting into the pipe while we worked around the wall with Durock and tile and mud. So we're going to install the shower head or pipe holder. It goes right up in there, and we're going to put not only tape, but we're also going to put some it's called plumber putty around it, just to make sure we get a good seal up inside of that pipe. And we'll install this and go from there. All right, so I've got on here plumber putty as well as the tape. And you can also see I've already put the little plate that's going to slide up against the wall once the shower head piping is installed. And of course, the plate is what covers the hole in your tile to give it a nice pretty finish. Now when you push this on, don't shove it way up on the pipe, because this thing has a tendency to scratch this pipe as it goes on. So you just want to put it, kind of right past where it needs to be, and then push your pipe in and tighten it in there, and then shove that little plate up against the wall. All right, so next is going to be the actual shower head. This is a 12-inch shower head, 12 by 12, really nice rain shower. Has a plug. Get you some needle nose pliers, pull that plug out. We're going to put tape up on this, the threads here, the shower port sticking out. You can see it's there. And then we're going to attach the shower head. Okay, so we're about to attach this. On the fitting here, on the shower head, are two flat notches, one on this side and one on the other side. And that's what gives you the ability to put a cresser wrench or a pair of pliers or something to give it just a little bit of snug. You don't want to over tighten it, but a little snug. So I suggest that you get a cloth of some kind, a dish rag, something to put around this before you take the pliers and snug it tight, okay? So next we're going to install the base for the handheld sprayer. And this is the port that screws into the wall. And this is the port that the handheld sprayer screws to. And that goes down like this. So the finished product is going to look with that going down. Now there is no finished plate that goes around this. So you need to make sure that the hole in your wall is small enough to hide behind this plate when it's finished being screwed on. Remember to put Teflon tape on this. This is the side slide bore that's going to hold the handle, and it comes with these two mounting pieces right here. The mounting pieces slip up inside of these end pieces, That one's a little tough, but it goes in there. And then you have to decide whether you want the handle, the sprayer, I'm sorry, right here, the sprayer. Let me show you this. I don't have it hooked up on the hose yet, but that's how it's going to sit. It's going to sit on this handle thing like this. So you have to decide, do you want it on the outside, or put that back on later, or do you want it on the inside? That's totally up to you. Now, depending on how you do it, remember the button is here to slide this bore. This bore slides like this, up and down, so you can adjust the height of that handle. So when you put it on, if you decide to have it on the outside like this, there's plenty of room. The button's in the back. There's plenty of room to push that button once it's mounted and to slide this up and down. But just pay attention to that. You want the button to be hidden on the back. So if it's on this side, if you decide to go, to this side, all right? So you just decide where you want it, how you want to position it, and then you mount. You need a tile bit, a bit that drills into tile, designed for tile, and you mount these. The hardware for that comes with it. All right, so on installing this, you need to put it together like this. Make sure both ends are attached to the slide board. And then you're going to see a little notch right here. Pull that off. Oops. And you can get into the bracket that way. You're going to pull both of those off. This is how I did it. You can do it how you want. I positioned this dead center of my tile up here. That's the one you'll see the most, and it's the one I wanted to center it on. And then I took a level and I made sure my board was level. And I marked the two little holes in there. And then I marked the two holes down there. And you'll need a special bit for tile, as I've already mentioned. And you will drill these holes right here. And they give you the hardware. It's little, they call them glue plugs, but they're just little plastic things that you'll push into the hole on both of these. And then when you screw the screws in through here, it'll expand that little plug and hold it nice and tight up against the wall. And that is the basic installation for it. Just like I said, just make sure, decide which side you want this guy to be on. And it slides right off. You can turn it that way if that's what you want. It comes right off. This is the way I want it. And so put her back in there. Anyway, I'll get it back on. So I've done it already. And that's, you choose which side you want it to be on, and then you mount this guy, and I'll show it to you mounted here in just a moment. All right, so we've got this thing mounted, and it's important. A couple things I realized. One, you want to make sure the smooth part of the hose is attached to the handle, because that's designed to slip inside the groove here. And so that puts this other guy over here, the one that has it's a little bigger, a little bulkier, and it attaches itself to the base. Now also, when you put this on, you need to test your handle, make sure it goes in, because if you have this upside down, it's not going to fit. In other words, this is what you would end up with, right? You couldn't be able to get it in the hole. If this was the other way, you would not be able to get it in the hole. And so this can only go one way. The button in this case faces you, and I'm not sure there's actually even a way for the button not to be pointing out towards you. I wish they would have arranged it that way, but anyway. And this turns like so. You can hear it click, holds it in place. Or to go back, straight up is the way I have it. So we've got the base hooked on, the hose hooked onto it, coming up to the handle. We have our head on, and I removed my faces here because I forgot to mention to you that when you install these guys, so after your base is in, we talked about that already, after your shaft is in, there are 4 holes on this sprayer casing. And there are 4 holes, or 4 little shafts on this casing in the wall. Like I said, make sure it says top. So when you slide this in there, you put this on in there, you want to, the screws that are given, you want to screw this base on. If you don't do that, you turn that water off, these things are going to come flying off the wall. So you want to screw those on, then you put your cap back on that. So we're going to do that, and then we're also going to remove this casing, put our little valves, our handles on, and the bigger plate, and then we'll be done. We'll be ready to turn this thing on. So the last thing we're going to do is put on the plate. You can see on the back of it, it has 2 nice rubber, what I would call a grommet, that will slip right over these metal shafts and stop water from going up in there. And then you have the hot, cold, on, off. Up underneath, you'll see an Allen wrench, little hole there. I mean a screw, Allen wrench screw. They you're given the Allen wrench to do that. So when you put it on, you want to tighten that Allen wrench. And then the same thing for the little guy that switches between sprayers, overhead and handheld. So we're going to put that on and give it a try. You can see in this little package the Allen wrench and those 2 little tiny plastic plugs. So after you tighten these up underneath, you put those little plugs in there, and they actually give you an extra screw as well. Alright, so we put the hot cold knob on. It's on there good. The little exchange knob that goes from the sprayers, overhead, shower. So we're going to turn the water on and see how this thing works on its different stages. Okay, so we're going to turn it on. We have the overhead, we have the sprayers, we have the handheld. So we're just going to go ahead and pull up on the lever. So it's set for the overhead, which is all the way to the right. When you go to the middle, it does the sprayers. Notice that the overhead and sprayers do not run at the same time. When you go all the way to the left, it goes to the handheld, and the handheld does have different adjustments. And the only way you can't turn it off using the adjustment knob here. So we'll go back to the overhead and then off like normal there. Okay.